Hello everyone, welcome back to online video tutorial on hydrology and irrigation engineering. So in this class, we are discussing the different types of precipitation. So as we have discussed the different forms of precipitation in the previous video. So let us see what are the types of precipitation we have. See, the precipitation is classified based on the lifting and cooling of air as cyclonic, convective and orographic precipitation. So cyclonic precipitation is subclassified into frontal and non-frontal precipitation. So let us just discuss in detail what is cyclonic, convective and orographic precipitation. So the first type of precipitation is a cyclonic precipitation. So basically what is cyclone? See, cyclone is a large low pressure region with a circular in motion. So you can see here. So that is a cyclone. And here the wind motion is clockwise in the southern hemisphere and it is counterclockwise in northern hemisphere. And so in a simple terms, we can say precipitation due to cyclone is nothing but the cyclonic precipitation. And this precipitation occurs, as you see here in the figure, when cold air masses and the warm air masses come in contact with each other, they will collide and the precipitation occurs. So that precipitation is called the cyclonic precipitation. See, this precipitation occurs so due to the unequal heating of Earth's pressure, so where that will create a difference in the pressure. So due to that pressure difference, so due to which is created by the unequal heating, so the cyclonic precipitation will occur. And here the air tends to move into low pressure zone from the surrounding area and displaces low pressure air upward. So here what happens? So the air will move towards the low pressure region. So whatever that low pressure region which is created, so all the air masses will try to move towards low pressure region. And there are two main types of cyclones, like tropical cyclone and extratropical cyclones, so which is also called as the hurricane or typhoon, okay, which is a tropical cyclone, and the size will be like 300 to 500 kilometers, so which causes high wind velocity and very high precipitation. So this type of cyclone, so comparatively will be having smaller diameter, and whereas extratropical cyclone will be having larger diameter up to 3000 kilometer, so which will cause a wider spread of frontal type precipitation. And so as you see here, the red color indicates the warmer front and the cold, the blue color indicates the cold front. So the warmer and the cold front and the warm front come in contact with each other, so you can see this the sky blue color portion, what you are seeing, that will be a precipitation. So when both the air masses come in contact with each other, the precipitation occurs. That is the cyclonic precipitation. This cyclonic precipitation is subclassified into frontal and non-frontal precipitation. So what is frontal precipitation? See, first of all, what is front? See, front is an interface between two distinct air masses. So we have two types of air masses. One is a cold air masses and a warm air masses. So the front represent the interface between cold and warm air masses, so which are having different temperature, different densities, different moisture content. So in this figure you can see, okay, so this is the red color indicates the warmer air, okay, so which is forced over the colder air, okay. So and the dotted line indicates the front surface, the interface between the warmer air which is forced over a cold air masses. And so when two air masses due to the difference temperature, so whatever the warm air front is there and the cold air masses is there, so when two such a air masses due to different temperature densities collide each other and the condensation occurs and the precipitation occurs, okay, so that type of precipitation is called the frontal type of precipitation. We can see here the cold front and the warmer front, so where the warmer air is forced over the cooler air. So this is a cooler air, so the warmer air gets lifted over the colder air and it will reach to the atmosphere, and there the condensation occurs and which will form a clouds, and the clouds will bring a rain. That is called the frontal precipitation. So and here if cold air masses drives out the warmer air masses, so it is called cold front. For example, you can see in the figure A. Okay, so you can see here the frontal, this is the dotted line indicates the frontal surface, means it is a contact surface between two air masses. Here the cold air masses is moving over the warmer air masses. It is moving into the warmer air masses. That is forms a cold front. So if cold air drives out warmer air, that is cold front. So if warmer air replaces cold air masses, that is warmer front. It is like reverse. So you can see here. So the second figure indicates warm front. So warm air masses is replacing a cold air masses. So that is called warmer front. And so one more front is there, that is a stationary front. So when both the air masses, see, you can see here the colder colder air and the, so you will be having the two front surface. That there is you can see there is a two dotted line. So that indicates two front surface. So if two air masses are drawn simultaneously, as you see here, so the warmer air comes from one side and the colder air comes from the same side. So when two air masses are drawn simultaneously, then the surface will form, that is called the stationary front. And here the cold front causes intense, that is nothing but the high in precipitation on a small area. So whereas warm front will lead to the less precipitation over a large area. And so compared to these two fronts, the cold front move faster than the warmer one, and usually they will overtake them. So cold front will overtake the warmer one. And that phenomenon is called the occlusion. So the colder front moves faster than the warmer one, and at that case what happens, the colder will overtake the warmer one, and the frontal surface of cold and warm, okay, sliding. So at that time slides, both the surfaces will slide each other. That phenomenon is called the occlusion, and the resulting front surface is called the occluded front. And the second type of cyclonic precipitation is a non-frontal precipitation. See, in this type of precipitation, a low pressure area develops. So the low pressure area will going to develop, and that low pressure area means it is a region where the atmospheric pressure is lower than the surrounding location. Okay, so if the pressure is less than the atmospheric pressure, that is called the low pressure area. So first what is going to happen? So first low pressure area is going to develop, and the air from surrounding converges laterally towards this low pressure area. So all the air masses from the surrounding will move towards this low pressure area, and that will result in the lifting of air, and hence it will cool, and then the precipitation occurs. That is called the non-frontal precipitation. The second type of precipitation you have, it is a convective precipitation. So here what happens, a packet of air, okay, so will rises from a warm surface, okay, due to the lesser density. So because warmer the air masses will be having lesser density, will be having higher velocity, so that they will move faster, and air from cooler surrounding flows to take up its place, so thus forming a convective cell. You can see here in this. So this is a convective cell. So the air masses, so this is a hot surface. From this hot surface or a warmer surface, the moist air gets lifted up, okay. So and so it will form a convective cell, and this movement of warmer and lighter air to a denser media, so will form a colder area, and that will undergo condensation, and because of that whatever the precipitation occurs, that is called the convective precipitation. So you can see here, so from this hot surface the air masses gets lifted, and from the surrounding the lighter cooler air molecules also gets lifted and it will form a convective cell. And because of this, after forming the convective cell, the condensation occurs, the cooling process will occur, and precipitation will occur. That is called the convection or convective precipitation. And this, this type of precipitation you can see in the whirling of thunderstorms. So you can see in the case of thunderstorms. And here, from this this type of precipitation, intensity is more. So the intensity of rain is more, and here the air closes the warmer earth. So as I have already told, so whatever the air which is close to the hot surface will get lifted up and cools adiabatically, and it will form a cauliflower. Like you can see the figure, this particular part looks like a cauliflower, a shaped cloud. And after that, so that will burst and the rainfall occurs. That is the convective precipitation. And the last type of precipitation is orographic precipitation. So here, the moist air masses, gets lifted to higher altitudes. So due to the presence of mountain barriers, you can see this orographic precipitation occurs in the region of mountain areas. Like, the warmer air gets, you can see here, the warmer air gets lifted, to the higher altitudes. And so while lifting, the cooling process undergoes and the cooling process undergoes and the precipitation occurs. You can see the dotted line. So after cooling, the precipitation occurs. So that precipitation is called the orographic precipitation. And here, so the windward slope receives more precipitation than the leeward. So you can see here, so this part of mountain will receive more rain compared to this particular part. And the example for this type of precipitation, that is Cherrapunji in Himalayan range, and similarly Agumbe in Western Ghats of India. So we'll get heavy orographic precipitation, that is of about 1250 centimeter to 900 centimeter. That is an average annual rainfall. So these are the different types of precipitation. So in the next class, we'll see the next topic. Thank you all.